Hey, ladies. Thank you for joining me. My name is Jenny Morris, and I'm here to teach you today about the steps that you need to take to get rid of your stress and burnout permanently. It plagues so many women because we tend to wear a lot of hats. And especially if you are a driven professional woman, then you often wear a lot of hats at your job and at home and in your personal life. And what I see so often in this coaching world is that so many people focus so much on their jobs that they end up not being able to live their life. So, how can we successfully keep our success at work and keep our income that we really want while also enjoying our lives and embracing each moment that we're actually home? So, we're going to dive into all of that. Stick with me. This is some powerful content. Excited to share this all with you. I'm going to share my screen. I have a presentation here for you just to help guide you along. So, into the stress and burnout. That is what we're here to do. You are ready to be done with this. You are at your wits' end, and this is not fun anymore, right? So, this whole presentation in this masterclass is on how professional women can banish burnout, end overwhelm, and finally get their peace of mind back without quitting their job, without having to make all these massive changes or taking a step back. All right, let's jump in. So, who is this for? It's for high achieving professional women, whether you're in corporate, whether you're a doctor or a nurse, a lawyer in PR, HR, marketing, if you're an entrepreneur, and even people who are executives, if you are in C suite, this is all for you. If you are an achieving professional woman. So, usually I see two categories that I see people fall in. One is the struggling workaholic. That is like Diane here. So, Diane is the CEO of a tech company, and she came to me very overwhelmed. She's a type A personality, a perfectionist, and didn't have any support with her team. She had no self care time. She was also taking care of her dad. And after working together, now she has time for her yoga. She goes and exercises. She walks her dog every single day. She has time for her friends. They go to football games almost every weekend. And she's learned how to delegate work to her employees and find trust in them. And now she takes regular breaks in the middle of her workday, which she never used to do. So she goes up onto her roof and just enjoys some time by herself. So her business also has formed better partnerships. And that's been a really big change in her life. So she's seen a lot of changes, not only within herself, but within her business since working together. So, another kind of person that you might be is someone looking for that work life balance. And like Ashley here, Ashley is a tech sales rep and she's amazing at her job, loves her job, but she came to me lacking a lot of boundaries in her job. She works from home, and so being able to separate her home from her from her work was really difficult. And she also is a single mom. She didn't have appropriate boundaries with her family, and she was really struggling with any self-care and just very down. So now she's succeeding in a better paying job. She actually applied for and achieved and got and is doing amazing at a better job in a better company that gives her more work life balance. And she's doing hikes consistently at her nearby mountain. She's in a happy relationship now. She's learned to truly fulfill herself. And therefore, she also has time for others. So she's been able to invest time in a relationship. She's been able to set healthy boundaries with her work and her home life and her family, and now spends a lot of quality, intentional time with her daughter. So kind of take a look and see which one of those categories do you feel like you fall in. So, how to end burnout and finally enjoy, right? With balance without having to burn it all down, right? Without having to quit your job, without having to burn it all down. So, things to do, right? We want to gain back at least 5 hours each week. We want to end the Sunday scaries, right? And having to drag yourself out of bed each morning, especially on Mondays. We want to learn to be even more successful in your career while working less. Yes, it is possible. And we're wanting to switch off your brain so you can actually enjoy life and you don't wake up in regret. And then we also want you to get off the hamster wheel, right? So stress and exhaustion are a thing of the past. So this is for you, even if you don't think you have the power to change and you're at your breaking point. Even you, this is without needing to quit your job. That might be the case for some people that a new job change is the best thing for them, but for most people, it's not because what oftentimes we'll go into this, the job isn't always the problem. So even if you've tried therapy, books, meditation, yoga, workshops, and none of it has been successful, this program is still for you. This lesson is still for you. Even if you think you can't have it all and you can't even envision a life that is stress free, this lesson is for you. Okay. So, who am I? I'm a certified IIN health coach, and I have spent about 10 years of research and experience and education in neuroscience, mindfulness, positive psychology, neuro-linguistic programming, holistic health, leadership development, and experience of overcoming stress and burnout personally from when I was in corporate and also for different events that happened in my life that triggered me onto this 10-year long journey of discovery of what truly works. So I also help my clients finally start living their dream lives, right? Without having to sacrifice their paychecks and years of hard work. So I also have all raving reviews and success that I'm happy to share with you. So, what do all my clients have in common? I find that everyone wants the same three things. They want income. They want to keep their income. They don't want to be in financial distress. They want to have impact. They want to know that what they're doing has a positive impact on the world. And they want to have balance. They want to be able to work and enjoy their home life, right? You need all three, or you won't be happy in any job you have. You'll continue the stress and burnout cycle. So, making sure that you have the income, making sure you have the impact, and then the balance. And a lot of this has to do with how we show up in our job, not necessarily just how the job is presented for us. So, there's four shifts you need to make for your life to be balanced and burnout free. Okay, the first one, we need to make the mindset shift that your job is not the problem. It isn't the problem. We'll dive into it and I'll explain a little bit more. Number two, you need to be ready to step into your power. This is how we create the life that we want. This is how we get rid of stress and burnout. Step into your power. Three, use a holistic approach instead of trying to numb it with other things. Use a holistic approach. And the fourth, you need to invest in mentoring. Investing into yourself is the best thing you can ever do for yourself. And I can absolutely speak from experience on that. So let's go into the first one of those four. Your job isn't the problem. So this is the first mindset shift because our job is just a symptom of the real hidden problem. And you're not alone. Most high achieving women, we tend to share similar traits that lead us to approach our jobs in an unsustainable way. There's a lot going on, especially with the gender bias in the workforce. There's a lot of proving ourselves, of working more, of trying to be a people pleaser. So we've got to shift how we function in our job, not just the job, because I've seen it where people try to change the job without changing themselves, and they still find burnout everywhere they go. So understanding your own contribution to stress, burnout, and exhaustion, oops, over here, is the fastest way to get to the root and make changes for good. So, some traits that can lead you to success that may have led you there and they served a role in your life, they're now the primary reason why you're overstressed, right? They're no longer serving you. Such things such as people pleasing, perfectionism, being an overachiever, always being the helper, right? And being the overfunctioner, always, always doing. So, those great strengths that once served you to get to the position you are in have become your weakness because they're overused. And that's where we find our balance. We need to find our balance. Second, one of those steps, step into your power. So if the old way isn't working anymore, now what? What do we do? So you've been successful, but the way you've gotten here won't get you to where you want to go next, which is having success in a sustainable, enjoyable way. So you're a leader, but you don't feel like one, right? You don't feel like a leader. Maybe you're feeling so depleted you can't even help others. You're anxious, spiraling. Maybe you feel consumed with worry or dreaming about a different life, a better life, right? And you might not even know what to do about it right now. So, what if there's a way to set yourself free without having to sacrifice what you've worked so hard to build, right? By claiming control of your life, you step into your power instead of giving it away. I repeat this. By claiming control of your life, responsibility for your life, you step into your power instead of giving it away. This is one of the most important lessons to learn that will lead you to success in your whole self, not just your career, but in your life. So let me put it this way, the old way, letting life happen to you. Everything that happens to our job happens to me, right? And it causes so much stress, right? The old way tells us that we have to put in more time, working 10 hours a day, right? You're giving your biggest chunk of life to your job where you have nothing left to give to your loved ones, to your personal care, to your well being. The old way tells us that we need to be on, answering emails and calls at all hours, putting out fires, being a problem solver, and consistently giving in all areas of our lives. That means even to your kids, to your family, to your friends, to your community, to everyone but yourself. And another thing the old way tells us is that we need to be on all the time. It requires us to be on all the time. When we're not working, we're thinking of work, or we're still in that monkey mind that's racing. We're struggling to sleep well, when we're missing out on the precious moments of life because we're not truly present. Doesn't have to be this way. The new way is all about taking control of your life. So, number one, we need to learn how to regulate our body and nervous system because when we've been in years of stress, your nervous system is automatically rigged to work that way. We've trained it. But the great thing is that you can train it to be in a different setting. It doesn't have to be in stress mode. We can have it be in focused yet relaxed. We can have it be in present and able to move energy, right? Move our job and what we're trying to do and help, and also be relaxed. So we can have accomplishment in a relaxed state instead of a stress state. The second, we have to be able to set boundaries and say no without guilt. This is a hard one. A lot of us are people pleasers. We want to just do what others say, but finding our empowered voice is one of the most important things. And believe it or not, this actually leads us to more success when we are able to powerfully say yes or no when something is serving you or not serving you. And the third thing, discover what you love outside your job. So often I talk to clients and I ask, tell me about three things you feel when or three times when you felt so alive. And some of them can't remember for a long time back. And you know what? We can change that. So important to connect to the joy and the playfulness of life. Okay, so imagine what it would be like to have 5 to 10 hours of your life back every single week to expend it exactly how you want. Bubble bath, having a quality outing with your kids, having a dinner date with your husband. So many things that we can do if we have that time back. Stepping into your power and deciding that you're in charge of your life is the fastest path to stress and burnout recovery. The fastest path. So let's go into the third part. Use a holistic approach. So the old way, the not holistic approach, tells you to numb out, right? Just turn on the TV. I'm so stressed. Just turn on the TV, go shopping, scroll through social media, and forget that I'm so stressed. Tells you to take meds, take melatonin to actually sleep, take Tylenol for stress headaches. Tells you to find a way to chill, drink wine, take a yoga class, go on a vacation. These are all temporary fixes and they don't get to the root. They're band-aids. And we all know that we need to get to the root of a problem to really solve it, right? If there's a weed outside and we simply snip it right at the ground, what is it going to do? Grows back. We have to get the root out in order for it to work. Another thing the old way says is just quit your job, go get a new one, right? We've talked about how that doesn't always work. It tells you to eat comfort foods, high sugar and carbs, just feel better, right? It helps you feel better. And the old way tells you, and this is the worst, to put in more time because it'll make it easier later. We all know that that doesn't work. So the new way into loving your life, you don't have to quit your job. You don't have to sacrifice your paycheck, and you don't have to go to therapy for years or even move to the beach, right? You can replace all of those old ways, those ways that don't work, with a holistic process, getting to the root and setting a foundation for resiliency. So, this is on 5 different levels. The first is we need to address our physical body, right? How we take care of our physical bodies changes how our hormones are, which ta-da-da, create stress or create relaxation. So we need to address our physical bodies, release endorphins. We also need to focus on our emotional state. We need to have a solid foundation of our emotions and be aware of our emotions and be able to navigate them with intelligence. We also need to address our role in our family, familial role, and what role they play in our lives, our support. We also need our societal support. How do you fit into your community and how do they fit into your life? And then last but not least, spiritual. Being connected with something bigger than yourself, whatever that may be, is a place that gives you purpose, right? Purpose. So, all this means is that you stop band aiding stress and burnout and you replace it with lasting solutions so you can finally solve it for good. That's why we're here to learn. This process is the backbone of my successful approach to the Resilient Woman program. So, that is the program that I have coached people through out of this state of stress and burnout into resiliency and loving their lives again, getting their lives back. So, the fourth step, invest in mentoring. This has been one of the ways that I have gotten to where I am. And I fully believe that we are not meant to do things alone. We are supposed to be supported and we're supposed to learn from people who have come before us, been through the process, right? So that we can learn from their wisdom. And that's how I've learned. And that's how I like to share with my clients. So it's simple, but there's thousands of ways to mess this up, right? And so I always ask, why spend years trying to figure it out on your own, being constantly beaten down, depleted, overwhelmed, trying something not working, when you can learn from an expert in 8 weeks, an expert who has taken over 10 years of expertise wisdom, knowledge, education, and put it all together into an 8-week course. So I've helped many women succeed, and so can you. It is possible. No matter how depleted you might feel, it is possible. So I help give women their lives back. You deserve to have your life back. So I have set aside some time in the next 24 to 48 hours to speak to you personally about how to apply these ideas to your life starting right now, today, because there are steps we can start right now. It's a building process, right? We have to set the foundation and we start to build on top of it. So let's start a foundation now. We don't need to wait and be in this state anymore. I know you're tired of it, right? That's why my clients have always come to me, because they're done with that, ready to start this foundation. So on this free 60-minute call, you will receive a personalized assessment of your underlying patterns contributing to stress and burnout, right? So that is what I want you to walk away with. I want you to have this personalized assessment of what is really causing, what's really the root of this? Where is the imbalance? I also want to give you clarity about exactly what your life can look like without the burnout. Okay? What your life can look like. And I love this exercise. It's a really fun exercise that we do. And then I want you to walk away with the exact steps you can take right now to get your life balanced. Okay? So, my goal on this call is just to give you extreme clarity about the patterns leading you to burnout and the exact steps to get the life that you truly want and deserve. So, this is not for everybody, right? We only work with certain people. So, this is for you if you are a high achieving professional woman. If you feel any form of stress or anxiety, overwhelm, if you're starting to feel burnout or you're past burnout, or if you're feeling overworked, if you feel any of these qualities, this is a call for you. And then you have to be willing and ready to take control of your life. And you're looking for expert guidance to show you how to get there faster. And lastly, you want to succeed in your professional life and you want to succeed in your personal life without having to give up what you worked so hard and put so much time and energy and investing in to create. So I want you to click the link in this post to grab your spot and we can book a call. This is completely free and it's here just to serve you. And if you really enjoy what we talk about and you want to learn about my program, the Resilient Woman program, we can talk about that. So my booking page looks like this. You'll see I have the 60-minute deep dive call. Go ahead and click on that one and pick out your time that you want to book a call and let's get on the phone. So, just like my client Beth, Beth is a hardworking travel nurse. She works 7 days straight, 12-hour shifts. She's a mother, and she came to me with a lot of stress and anxiety and a lot of self doubt. She was really struggling. She had tried different mindfulness practices and different things in the past, but she was at her breaking point and it was not working. So when we worked together, she immediately found her voice inside her marriage. She came with this new force of empowerment and was able to really start to lead her own life. It was beautiful to see this person who relied on everyone else for things all of a sudden start to believe and rely on herself. She gained that self-trust, right? And now she is a master at self-care. She is awesome. She's a master at setting boundaries. That's been huge. And she's been able to enjoy her job, keeping the same work schedule, but has such little stress, right? She's eliminated that stress. And now she just enjoys her job. She enjoys her time off and has developed all these incredible skills. So I've loved watching Beth just just completely transform over this program. And just like Beth, you can transform too. So life is meant to be enjoyed. It is meant to be enjoyed. It's not meant to be burnt out. It's not meant to be stressed and anxious. It is meant to be enjoyed. And you can have it all. You can have the balance, enjoying your personal life, enjoying your family life, enjoying creativity, and enjoying your success in your career. You can have impact, making a difference in this world, making a positive impact. And you can have the impact income you desire. You can have that financial success and that stability. So don't waste another minute being stressed and burnt out. Book a call now so that we can start becoming a resilient woman. You are ready to be a resilient woman. I'm excited to help you along this path and watch you blossom. So go ahead and book that. And I really look forward to talking with you and getting to know you and seeing how I can help you through this bump in your life so that you can get to being completely resilient from here on out. So, thanks for tuning in and watching this. Talk to you soon, and I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. All right, bye, ladies.